Welcome back to another episode at Consciously Evolving Enterprises. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Ryan Dylan Brasington. Welcome back, guys. So this story's been rotating on my brain probably for the last 2 weeks. I thought I'd share it with you guys, try and get it off my chest, and maybe that'll help. Anyway, when we were young, six, 7, 8 years old, living in the western suburbs, had many people, not only in the quite large cul-de-sac as neighbours, but we also had a lot of other people in our lives coming around. I'd call them randoms, but, if Dad knew your name, you're welcome to come around for the family barbecue, And in regards to that, random people coming around were coming around to score pot. Dad sold a bit of weed on the side, so we would have random people showing up, but Dad would make friends with them, and of course I'd show up at the next family barbecue. So anyways, and getting more towards the story, the one time I remember Dad wasn't home, Mum was, and this big fella came in, and he denim jeans and a leather jacket, shaved head. I mean, he took up the doorway. His head had to duck to get under the archway, So anyway, I'm like, oh, huge dude, oh my God, right? What's this guy? I remember being only a young fella, a little bit cheeky, a little bit mischievous. Anyway, he started talking about wrestling, and I wasn't a big wrestling fan. And he goes, yeah, I know this move. And I was like, huh, what? And then I tell you what, he just grabbed me, one arm, pulled me over towards him, push my head down. I still grabbed one arm, push my head down, put my head in between his knees, then grabbed my other arm, now holding both arms up behind my back while my head's in between his knees, and I'm looking at the ground. I was just like, what the hell's going on? Oh my God, what? And then, no word of a lie, he dropped to his knees onto the floor with my skull in between his legs. Yeah? So the full weight of that grown man on a 6, 7-year-old's forehead, hitting the ground. I remember not much from that moment, other than the pain. I remember just it felt like my head was broken. That throbbing non-stop pain, migraines for weeks afterwards, swollen face. I'm pretty sure I had a fractured skull, although I was never taken in for an x-ray or examined for it. I think not only probably a fractured skull, but probably an early onset brain-acquired injury at that age. Thinking about the things that followed it, suicidal tendencies, trying to drown myself in the kitchen sink because I didn't like myself. Strange behaviour. I remember having hallucinogenic nightmares while I was awake. Looking up out the darkness in the bedroom and seeing a horse's head coming at me. And I think these all relate back to that head injury, or had something to do with that head injury as well. And talking with a friend at work, the conversation came up about dark eyes, like the bags under your eyes being quite consistent. No matter how much sleep you do, no matter how many cucumbers you put on your eyes or tea bags, they just don't go away. And he said, well, it could be related to an early head injury that you had as a child. And he said, did you have any? And I said, I had a few, actually. And then this one was the one that instantly came to mind. And I thought, oh my God, that actually happened. That actually happened. And it's, wow, I think Mum squealed at the time from memory. But I do remember hitting the floor and just everything, including my face, collapsing into the floor. Just, that was it, gone. I thought I was dead. Really, really did. Of course, he got up, laughed it off, and here I am screaming with a collapsed bloody forehead. Oh my God. So I believe after that, there was a little pink medication that was hidden in my Nutella, spoon of Nutella. Yeah, all right, Mum, no worries. What is that? Oh, Yeah. Hence, still to this day, I don't like bits in chocolate. Just plain dairy milk, no nuts, no bits, no marshmallow, mate. I'm right. Just plain, thanks. Um, I think that relates back to that trauma incident as well, and in the recovery process, relating that post-traumatic stress back to that moment of that man coming into our family home and literally grabbing a young boy and dropping him to the floor with all of his weight like on his head. On his head, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, subscribe, do whatever your kids do these days. Oh, and a Happy New Year.